So Sister Callista Roy, we call her Sister Callista Roy because she was actually a member of a religious order. So she was a member of the Sisters of St. Joseph's of Cardinalettes, which is like a Catholic organization, actually. So she is like part of a religious order. So we talked last class about how nurses often were members of religious orders, and this was true for Sister Callista Roy. She chose to dedicate her life to the church, and she became like a nun and a sister. But she was also a nurse in providing her care. And so pretty much the opposite of Jean Watson and Jean Watson's understanding of like spirit and being outside of yourself, Sister Callista Roy really believed in a higher power and the authority of like a God figure. So she actually is a little bit different than many nurses in that she held a master's degree and a doctorate degree in sociology. So she was first a nurse, she did her nursing degree, but then second to her nursing degree, instead of continuing to study in nursing, she studied in sociology. So it really gave her a different perspective than just nursing, as a nursing focused. So she worked as a pediatric staff nurse in the hospitals, and she observed how strong kids were. She would see kids undergoing really traumatic health challenges, cancer diagnoses, severe distress, abuse, things that were really awful, and see how strong kids were to get through these things. And she thought, how can these children be so strong and actually get through these difficult situations? Like, these are kids, they shouldn't be able to do this, right? So she decided that because of this, she would think about nursing in a different way, and it really shifted her thought to think about using adaptation and her model of adaptation. So she lived in California in the 1960s and came up with this very strong nursing model. And it really talks about the feedback loop and having a variety of different things within the model. I'm going to go through this specific model in more detail. But it talks about the stimulus and our coping processes that we have, the things that affect our ability to cope, and then the patient's response that we have. So much more specific and very systematic in its approach.